If you'd like to see more of our videos, hit the subscribe button to stay on top of the market news. Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMtrading. Today is October 1st, 2020. And today is Thursday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, the Dow Jones and the Nasdaq both surge. A short-term optimism resumes both in the stimulus package and both because the markets have seen some optimism with stocks coming out with beating earnings, believe it or not. So let's take a look at the economic events of the day. So looking at today's economic events of the day, we're going to be starting out with the United States at 4 o'clock South African time, coming up with ISM Manufacturing PMI number. Now, this is mostly an inflationary number as well to a production number that we anticipate will actually meet its expectations. Okay, but looking at the various markets, starting out with the Forex symbols, we see the British pound, the euro, and the Australian dollar all gain versus the USD, while looking at the indices, the Dow Jones and the Nasdaq both surge. And looking at commodities, gold really challenged at that 1900 level. Oil bounces above $40 a share. And lastly, looking at the stocks, we're seeing really a mixed bag. Now, I do want to highlight the fact that tomorrow we have NFP coming out for jobs created in September. That is the most important number of the month, so you do want to know what's coming out. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading leading into tomorrow's NFP. So we're going to first take a look here at the Euro USD at a daily chart, and you can see pretty much that we're making back some real estate that we've lost, okay, after this massive sell-off that we had from 118.38 down to 116, which was a 200 pip range for it to actually retrace. Now we are at the 50 mark. Okay, what's very similar about this is that it looks very close to the Dow Jones, and I'll take a look at that in just a second. Okay, so this is really a pivotal point, because if we don't break above this 1769-ish level, I do expect it to sell off again. Now looking at the GBP USD also gaining to its resistance level, let's draw a resistance line here for you at 129.90-ish level. As you can see here, if it does not break above it, then I do expect it to actually retrace. Looking at the Aussie dollar, same story. What is beautiful about this is that all these Forex symbols are trading in tandem with the USD, which means that everything is clear, everything is trading in tandem. So I do expect some follow through here with all of them. Now jumping into the commodities, we see that gold is really challenged with this 1900, and this is really a same story to what we saw in the Dow Jones. I'm going to show it to you in just a second, okay, over the past month that we had this massive sell-off, okay, and then we have this bounce, and they all look like they're bouncing about 50%. Now, technically speaking, that's a very important level, okay, but before we jump into the Dow Jones, let's just cover our commodities and jump into oil. Now looking at oil here, we're pretty much in this trading range between 40.53 and 38.76, excuse me. So for all intents and purposes, the lack of the forecast that we have as to how things will happen in the next 3 months to 6 months are really playing itself out in the price of oil. Now some of the oil producing countries are showing massive deficits, and there are airlines that are letting go of employees. Yesterday, we mentioned that actually Disney laid off some employees, 28,000. That's not some, that's a lot. Okay, so the markets are still kind of absorbing everything that is happening. Tech sector is still strong, so this is not a market that is completely trading in tandem. Now, looking at the Dow Jones, we're breaking above here. Okay, our resistance level from this morning, from yesterday's high. Okay, trading at 27,893. Now, I do want to highlight this, okay? This is in a 4-hour chart, a Fibonacci retracement that I've set up, okay? And you could pretty much see how it's trading very, very normally, okay? We had this massive retracement or sell-off from 29,000, okay, where we capitulated to in August, which I think was way overbought, and we sold off to 26,600. Now, guess what? This right here, this line right here, is the 50 50% mark. Now, the 50% mark is really important mark because that's usually, if there is a sell-off, it usually bounces to about 50%. Now, the next real resistance level is 28,154. Now, we've been at that level, which was a previous resistance as we were selling off throughout these levels here. Okay, now another point I want to highlight the fact, okay, at this 20, let's call it 29,000. Okay, we do have precedent for it for previous resistance. Okay, so this is really a very, very important number. So if we don't break above it and we do sell off, I do expect to sell off here. Okay, we could bounce if we do continue bouncing to 28,000. Okay, and rallying later today. Okay, so something that can considerably continue into today's trading range. Okay, trading session. Excuse me. Now jumping into the Nasdaq also. Okay, you could see some strength there also. Okay, not breaking about this 11,500, but I do expect it to if it does follow through. Now, if I look at some of the traditional stocks, the Alcoas, okay, which are the Dow Jones stocks, they're dead, trading at 1157. If we look at JP Morgan, also trading sideways, not breaking out higher. However, looking at Microsoft, we saw a little bit of resurgence, but not enough to really carry us higher. Facebook also, and so too, we're trading at 260, down from 264, okay, but not really following through. I got to see that follow through for it to be a confirmed rally, okay. Looking at Apple here, trading at 114. Remember, this stock was at 132, its all-time highs, retraced from 132 down to about $100 a share. This is post the 4-for-1 split, and now we are at that midpoint. So you could see that on many symbols, so making it across the board, whether they're Forex symbols, whether it's the Dow Jones, the gold, or the stocks, we're at that 50% mark, okay, which really creates for ourselves a fantastic opportunity going into tomorrow's trading, because if we break higher, then we're going to surge higher, okay? But if we can't sustain this, then we're going to sell lower. Okay, now going into the October month, it's traditionally a sell-off month, okay? So I don't want to celebrate that too soon, but I just do want to give you the opportunity to get yourself into the game before, so that you can maximize on those moves. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day.